Straight ahead on Channel 6 News, Albany police are investigating the second murder of this year, less than a week after the first. Celebrating life with those who once faced down possible death. Severe weather whips through the capital region, downing trees and some structures.
And there's still some thunderstorms and showers around this evening. We'll check them out on Instant Doppler 6 coming up. Channel 6 News starts right now.
Channel 6 News is everywhere. Live, the most watched news station in the capital region. This is Channel 6 News at 6.
Good evening. All day long, pockets of our area were hit with often severe weather and storm damage.
As you can see the mess we got here, it's just splintered and shredded everything.
Morning, Columbia County took the brunt of hail and strong winds, which leveled this 45 by 95-foot shed on the land owned by Larry Salpa on Lasher Road in Nevis. Salpa says trees were also downed. What was unusual was the way the wind tore up certain spots and passed over others.
It's incredible how it can jump like that. That much force to shred a building like this and then jump over another building and then go on and knock down trees on the other side.
So is the severe weather over for now, or is there more in store into the evening and tomorrow? Meteorologist Garett Argianas has our first look at the forecast. Garett?
Well, Mary Beth, the severe threat is over. Basically ended late this morning to the early part of the afternoon. Still some showers around, but first, let's take a look back at what happened this morning with our storm damage reports. The first one we're looking at is in Claremont. That's the videotape we just showed. Also some wind damage into Rensselaer County and Schodack Center, also in Sand Lake, with reports of trees and wires down. And one more report out of Greenwich in Washington County with some trees uprooted up in that area. Also some hail reported in Ulster County, 1 3/4 inch hail in that area. So certainly a pretty active morning. Now let's check things out on our street level radar with our Instant Doppler 6 weather data plotted on it. Seeing some showers right now into Bennington County. Also some showers, a small shower near Pittsfield right now. Some more showers out to the west as well. So we expect some showers to be coming through this evening, but otherwise we expect a mix of clouds and sunshine for those of us who aren't seeing the rain at this time. And temperature will fall to about 60 degrees. And watch out, so again, for a few thunderstorms this evening, maybe some showers. But the showers will be coming to an end as we head through the overnight hours tonight. More on the forecast coming up in just a couple of minutes. Mary Beth.
All right, thank you, Garett. A 17-year-old boy is dead tonight after an afternoon shooting in Albany, and police are still looking for suspects. Amy Polacko is here with more on that. Amy?
Well, Mary Beth, it happened around 1:30 this afternoon on Colony Street in front of a grocery store that's known as one of Albany's biggest drug hangouts these days. Colony Market's owner turned his grief into anger toward police today after somebody gunned down one of his regular customers right outside.
The little boy who got shot, he came bought a soda for me. And I know him.
A few minutes later,
I heard the gunshot outside. Then I lay under the counter.
And when Abdallah went outside, he found the boy people here call Junior, shot in the back in this alley.
I can't see it. I don't know where the blood come from. There's blood all over his name.
Police say it looks like this was a drive-by shooting. They found 2 shell casings down the street and still don't know how the boy wound up here in the alley. Police do know this corner's been getting worse and say it's the new center of Arbor Hill's drug trade now that the city cleaned up Swan Street. Back in November, we caught drug deals going down in this same spot. And the store owner says it's true.
Yeah, I do front here in the street here to buy drugs. And nobody be clean up the area. Why?
Residents say no one person can clean up this place, but city leaders could get a better idea of what they're up against if they saw it.
Those who are running for politics, walk the streets. Start walking the streets. Not for what you call primary day, not for election day, but start walking the streets.
Now, police say initial reports said a car sped away from the store seconds after the shooting, but they haven't found that car or any other suspects yet. Mary Beth?
All right, thanks, Amy. In other news, the Pittsfield Fire Department may have to cut 10 emergency worker positions to help the city cope with an $8 million deficit. The fire chief was ordered to cut $300,000 from his budget. He says the only way he can make the cuts is to permanently shut down one station and close the other during peak vacation periods. Now, that could mean slower response times to emergencies. Pittsfield Mayor Gerald Doyle will meet with the chief on Wednesday to discuss the plan. You could be getting your tax rebate check soon. Right now, the government is still trying to calculate who gets rebates and how much. Single taxpayers could get checks up to $300, married couples up to $600, as part of President Bush's recently passed tax cut plan. Appearing on CNN's Late Edition, Treasury Secretary Paul O'Neill says it's only a matter of time.
We're going to mail out a letter to all the taxpayers, all the federal income taxpayers, on the 12th of July, and that letter will tell people when their check is coming and how much it's going to be for. The following week, in fact, on the 20th of July, we'll send out the first 11 million checks, and then each week after that, we'll send out another 11 million checks, and we'll finish up the last mailing on the 28th day of September, and so the money's going to be flowing, and we're anxious to get it out there to people.
The tax bill also repeals the estate tax by 2010, doubles the $500 child tax credit, and reduces the top income tax rate. A New York utility wants you to pay the same price for electricity for the next 7 years. New York State Electric and Gas is asking state legislators to approve a plan that would freeze electricity rates until the year 2008. They claim it would keep customers from paying extremely high electric bills. Critics say the plan would force customers to pay high prices even when the rates fall. State officials could make a ruling by late summer. An area family is asking for your help tonight. They're trying to find their father, 71-year-old Harold Hartshorn. He's been missing since Friday, and he's a diabetic. Hartshorn was last seen Friday night around 11:30 by his pastor. Then he drove away in his four-door Chevy Cavalier. His family fears that Hartshorn is disoriented because he hasn't had insulin for days, and they're asking anyone who has seen him to call them.
Might look like he's acting like he's drunk or something, because he's diabetic, When you're diabetic, you might, not be talking right or something,
If you have any information about Hartshorn, you're asked to call Colony Police. Cancer survivors say having cancer changes your life forever. So 15 facilities in this region held a mass cancer luau to celebrate living. At the RAC Center at UAlbany today, the Cancer Luau celebrated the triumph of 9 million cancer survivors in the United States and those of local people who have had cancer touch their lives.
This is celebrating life. People like me, who there is no cure for, we're just striving for each day. And I think something like this is great to show other people that cancer does not mean you're going to be dead tomorrow.
While many local facilities have had individual cancer survivor days, this is the first time it's been done on a regional basis.
Channel 6 News is everywhere. Coming up next.
Local death penalty opponents descend on the capital region to make their voices heard. And could laws designed to stop dialing and driving pave the way for crackdowns on eating in the car or listening to the radio?
This segment of Channel 6 News is brought to you by Yankee Trails.
If you really want to punish Timothy McVeigh, don't execute him. That's the word from local death penalty opponents in the New York Civil Liberties Union, who gathered in Albany's Washington Park today to call for an end to the death penalty in New York and the world. Albany Common Council President Helen DeFossa says convicted Oklahoma City bomber McVeigh wants to go out in a blaze of glory, and executing him just helps him do that.
We want to deny him that opportunity to go out in a blaze of hateful glory and just be consigned to total obscurity and being forgotten in some cell for the rest of his days. That's punishment for McVeigh.
Protesters say they're also against the death penalty because there's no taking back the mistake if someone is wrongly executed, and because more minorities than whites are put to death. An Albany woman is recovering this evening after being attacked by dogs. Police say 36-year-old Wahida Massey tried to pet the two Akitas tied to a tree on Lark Street when they started biting her. The owner took his dogs and ran. Albany police are still waiting for him. With Governor Pataki pushing for new statewide laws preventing the practice of so-called dialing and driving, some advocates are calling for tighter laws on other driver distractions. Recent studies show cell phone use behind the wheel distracts drivers less than adjusting the car radio or eating while driving. And advocates say those distractions should be outlawed as well. Handheld cell phone use is already against the law in Westchester and Nassau counties. If you're driving through Vermont, watch out. State Fish and Wildlife authorities say this could be a bad year for moose-related accidents. Route 4, which runs through Rutland and past Killington, is considered a moose hotspot. Young moose are now exploring new areas for food, and last month alone there were at least 40 moose-related car accidents. Even without Mother Nature's cooperation, more than 100 bikers showed up in Berkshire County to remember a 12-year-old boy. The 5th annual Jimmy's Ride kicked off this morning in Pittsfield. Jimmy Bernardo was killed 11 years ago by Louis Lent. Lent is currently serving a life sentence for that murder. Jimmy's mother says the passage of time doesn't make her burden any lighter.
It's tough. I mean, it doesn't get easier with time. That with my other son growing up and watching him, but we hang in there.
I'd just like to say it really does our heart good to see this many bikes, this many people come out to an event when for the past 3 days they've been predicting rain, and now they say we have tornado-like conditions.
The ride did have to be postponed for a few hours because of the weather. And right now outside our door, it's bright sunshine, but how long will that last, Garrett?
Well, Mary Beth, unfortunately, looks like the sun will be with us for a little bit longer, but there are some showers around as well this evening, so we'll take a look at those on Instant Doppler 6 coming up as Channel 6 News continues.
This segment of Channel 6 News is brought to you by WM Beers. Now, your Instant Doppler 6 forecast.
Well, we told you today would be a very changeable day. Mother Nature did have some tricks up her sleeve, giving us thunderstorms this morning. Those dropped about almost half an inch of rain in Albany. Some areas picking up a little bit more of the rain, way of rainfall this afternoon, especially east of the Hudson River. High today 66, low is 58 set this morning, and we're just about normal now for precipitation for the year. At the top of the hour, temperature 64 degrees, dew point at 56. The winds are light and the pressure is at 29.66. The bigger look at temperature shows a good amount of mid-60s here in the capital region. Off to the west, though, temperature is a little bit cooler. There's some cooler air now diving in out of Canada, so temperatures will be cooling off as we head through the overnight hours tonight to a low about 53 degrees or so, and then some cooler air on top again as we head into the day tomorrow with clouds around. Temperatures not quite to normal, but only into the upper 60s for your highs tomorrow once again. Radar shows that we did have those showers that came through this morning, but those did push off to the east and well off into New England now. So just scattered showers around right now. Some thunderstorms are possible as well, but nothing of the severe variety for this evening or into the overnight hours tonight. Looks like the threat for thunder will end, but still some scattered showers off to the west that we will watch come through overnight tonight. Looks like scattered showers will be with us once again during the day tomorrow. So pretty dreary weather pattern continuing, but at least there is some sunshine out there as we head through the late part of the day today and also ahead for tomorrow. Current map shows that frontal system just off to our east. This helped fuel those thunderstorms this morning, provided a little bit of a lifting in the atmosphere, which helped make those thunderstorms this morning. This again is pushed off to the east, so we have that colder air now building in out of Canada, and that's what will be with us, helping dry things out a little bit as we head into the overnight hours tonight and into the day tomorrow. So our map for tomorrow starts kind of like this, low pressure off to the north and east. So any areas of rain, of heavier concentrated rain, will be off to the north, keeping us with the threat of some scattered showers tomorrow, but we'll call it a mix of clouds and sunshine during the day. And this thing really doesn't move too much, so just moving a little bit to the north, so we keep the threat of showers in the forecast during the day tomorrow as temperatures make it into the upper 60s. Then as we look ahead to the day on Tuesday, it looks like things will be a little bit drier with a mix of clouds and sunshine once again. Temperatures making it to the lower 70s. Looks like Tuesday will be the only dry day until the end of the week because it looks like another system moves in. This one off to the west will move in late Wednesday into the day on Thursday. Could give us another sizable rainstorm. Forecast for tonight shows us mostly cloudy skies, some scattered thunder showers and showers this evening, tapering into showers tonight, 53. For your day tomorrow, mixed clouds and sunshine, just a few scattered showers around 68. For tomorrow night, we finally dry it out, variably cloudy skies, 50 degrees. And now a check of the 6-day forecast shows that dry day on Tuesday, but then a chance for some storms and showers late Wednesday. Possibility of picking up quite a bit of rainfall as we head into the day on Thursday, and then things, at least hopefully, will dry out for next weekend. We'll keep that in the forecast. And keep our fingers crossed, Mary Beth.
Let's hope, because we can't get a break for 2 weekends in a row now.
Seems that way, huh?
All right, thanks, Garrett. Well, coming up next, the fans come ready for action at Yankee Stadium, and the Lumberjacks look to swing the big bats in Glens Falls. Tim Mack has it all next in sports.
This segment of Channel 6 News is brought to you by Central National Bank.
Welcome back. The Northern League season is still young, but the time is right for the Adirondack Lumberjacks. They've got the early division lead going into today's game against Allentown. Now, all they have to do is hang on for another 4 months. The game was delayed by about an hour or so due to some unpleasant weather, but baseball would be played. And when they got started, Adirondack pitcher Chad Ward was in control. The Fort Edward native threw one of those bat dodgers to sit down Keith Maxwell down in the second. Ward had 4 strikeouts on the day. and it looked like they had the offense they needed, courtesy of Bob Spangler. The rookie from Pennsylvania had the right stuff in the third, sending one all the way to the discount bleacher seats to give the Jacks a 1-0 lead, but the Allentown bats proved to be too much. The Jacks let this one slip away late. That sends the Lumberjacks season record to 6-5, Allentown 6-4 after today's 4-1 loss. I know we're into June now, but May was probably a month that Andy Pettit didn't want to say goodbye to. The Yankees southpaw hadn't lost since April 30th, going 3-0 in the month of May. Meanwhile, his opponent, Cleveland's Charles Nagy, making his first start of the year. New York trailing by a run in the fourth. Derek Jeter tags Nagy out of the yard. And if the Yanks themselves were not loaded for bear, at least their fans were. I can't even get one of those oversized #1 novelty foam hands into the ballpark. This guy is packing heat. Man. Whew. But Nagy would not give up any more than that. He allowed just 1 run on 4 hits, had 1 strikeout against Paul O'Neill in the 7th, and the Yanks, they finally managed to threaten late, but they just could not close the gap as they lose it to Cleveland 4-3. David Cone and the Red Sox playing the Jays this afternoon at the Sky Dome. Coney serving up a gopher ball to Carlos Delgado in the 3rd. It's a 2-run homer over the Boston bullpen. 2-0 Toronto, but that was nothing compared with the ceiling scraper Manny Ramirez would hit in the 4th. It is a solo shot traveling 491 feet all the way to the 500 level on the tarp, a Sky Dome record. What a shot. Moving on to the 7th, we're tied at 4 when Shea Hillenbrand sends one to center. Jose Cruz making the catch, but it's not enough to stop the run from scoring. The Red Sox go on to win. Boston adding a game to their lead on New York. The White Sox also winners. Minnesota then beating the Rangers, and Oakland is leading the Orioles. A couple of other games in progress. Anaheim racing past KC, and the Mariners leading the Devil Rays. The Mets need all the help they can get to catch up with the front-running Phillies, and today they had a hand from their friends the Expos. A day after knocking in 6 RBIs, Vladimir Guerrero had another 2 RBIs today thanks to a 2-run homer in the 6th. Lee Stevens would then follow him with another home run as Montreal would beat up on Philly. Omar Dahl taking his first loss of the season for the Phils. Right now those Mets, they're still scoreless going into the 9th inning. LA got past Houston in a high-scoring game while Colorado ran roughshod over the Giants. Arizona leading San Diego late. Brewers ending the Cubs winning streak at 12. This weekend's Memorial Golf Tournament is something of a mixed blessing for CBS network executives. Of course, they're happy to have any tournament that Tiger Woods is playing in. They probably would like it if he'd add some drama to the proceedings. Instead, the 2-time defending champ went into the day down by a stroke and quickly tore up the field. He shot a 6-under par 66, round up 17 under for the tourney. That's good enough to beat his nearest competitor by 7 strokes. Tiger wins the Memorial yet again. To the French Open, Jennifer Capriati taking on Megan Shaughnessy. The 4th-seeded Capriati in control in the 2nd set, serving for the match. And after a healthy rally, Shaughnessy, well, just could not match shots with the former team prodigy. Eventually, she makes the error, gives away the point. Capriati moves on. Meanwhile, Serena Williams had little trouble with Nadia Petrova, winning today in straight sets, 6-3, 6-1.
And we're gonna go boogity, boogity, boogity.
Woo! Oh, those crazy NASCAR announcers. What a day for racing in the Dover. For the Dover 400, and they didn't waste any time getting things started on lap 3. Jerry Nadeau bumps Jimmy Spencer. He spins, and Ken Schrader runs into him. Bill Elliott, he would then get spun out. He gets hit by Michael Waltrip. Bottom line, very dangerous game. Jeff Gordon managing to stay above the fray. He takes the race for his 2nd victory of the year.
And the moral I take away from the sportscast is when you go to the ball game, leave your gun at home.
I don't know how no one notices you've got a holster full of some serious muscle
to
there.
the point where they can roll, they put the little mark around it so they can mark it on the video.
You come into these games and they check to make sure you're not bringing any coolers in, and yet he's in with some heavy artillery.
Amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's sleeping at the switch.
I guess so.
All right, thank you, Tim.
Sure.
Well, up next on Channel 6 News, we'll let you listen in on a performance of Chocolate Thunder, profiled this winter in our Capital Kids segment. That'll almost do it for us. Garrett, have a quick forecast for us?
Well, some showers around Mary Beth this evening, but those will be coming to an end by Tuesday.
Okay, that sounds good. We'll see you again tonight after the Tony Awards. We leave you now with the sounds of Chocolate Thunder. Have a great night.